Hello, and welcome to a special edition news coverage on slavery. I'm here with my co-host, Quentin Toggins, and other news members to inform you people at home on the slavery issue.
Greetings everybody. We have a collection of never-before leaked news and videos for you today, giving you guys a better idea of how the Civil War helped redefine freedom for some people in America. Larry, take it away.
Alright, thank you, Quinn. Well, basically, the recent war has opened and closed many doors for the people of 1800s America. Because of the different views of the North and South, it eventually led to conflict, and from that, into war. Slaves wanted their own freedom, and the Southerners wanted to be independent states, and continue to use slaves to get their hard labor done for them. The North wanted to use federal government, and most did not like the fact of the South using slaves for their dirty work. These differences tore America apart. By the time the war was over, many things in America changed. One major result of the Civil War was the abolition of slavery. The Fugitive Slave Act, Emancipation Proclamation, and the Appomattox Courthouse surrender all somehow contributed to the end result of the abolition of slavery. This redefined freedom to mean that everyone in America had what they wanted, and that the African Americans had the chance to be free and be included with other races in society. African Americans and other minorities achieved social freedom by being able to pursue what they wanted. The people of the country gained political freedom by being able to become one as one country, and the economy could now flourish without having to worry about business going down. Quinn, want to explain our overview of today?
Cut. Sure. So first up, we have a leaked video from the first-hand documentary experience of two slaves and their attempt at escaping from the law, but then being stopped because of the Fugitive Slave Law Act. Next, we have an old broadcast from one of our newsmen at the actual announcing of the Emancipation Proclamation, and also interviews with both Confederate and Union people. To wrap up this collection of newscasts, we have footage of the Appomattox Courthouse surrender, which officially ended the war. So let's start this thing and head out to the video.
Come on, let's go! Quickly! In here! Come on, we'll stay here for the night. Tyrone, take first watch, please.
Yeah, doggies. What do you reckon we should do with them blacks stinking on my barn? Should we tie them up and feed them to the pigs?
Yeah, you tell him, Georgie.
You watch them, Ragtag. I'm on.
What's them blacks doing in here? I ought to shoot you.
Wait, did you hear? This is the Fugitive Slave Act.
What in the world is a Ooga Slave Act?
It means you have to give us back to our masters, unarmed.
We ain't in the North, son.
Both slaves attack the farmer and wrestle him to the ground.
Get away from me!
And start running towards the east until they find the Union.
Stop, slaves! I don't like the fact that the Union has to get involved with the slaves having to be turned in, but I can't break the law. According to the new Fugitive Slave Law, anyone who finds a slave must bring them back to their masters. Sorry, I feel bad about this, but hands up! This is Sean Almira reporting, and right now we're going to go watch Lincoln's speech.
And by the virtue of the power and for the purpose aforesaid, I do order and declare that all persons held as slaves within said designated states and parts of states and henceforward shall be free.
Wow, what an amazing speech. With the Emancipation Proclamation, all slaves in the Confederate controlled areas now have the social freedom of becoming a free man. They now have the ability to escape from the South and pursue a better life. The only bad thing is not everyone is happy about this. The Southerners are losing some economical freedom for their income is surely to plummet, that they have less workers and actually have to pay them in the near future. I actually have a Southerner next to me to explain how the emancipation is affecting him. So, Billy Joe, explain your situation.
Well, don't mind if I do. Thanks to this so-called emancipation, we farmers are going to have to actually pick the cotton and pay the slaves. That is just outrageous, because now we won't get much money, and keeping things the way they were seems just fine. Those colored people are just lesser than us anyway. So why do we have to give them a chance to be free? They probably won't even know what to do with their lives. The farmers are just the ones losing freedom now. Our economic freedom is that. I'm done.
Thank you, Joe, for your feedback. This just in. I'm hearing from my sources we have another newscaster in the fields. Andrew Young, over to you.
Next in line to give us their opinion on the new law is Union resident Cletus. Cletus, did you think President Lincoln got it right with the new law?
Well, I certainly do think he did. I believe it's time for the colored people to be free from the chains. I do have to agree with Billy Joe here, that they are lesser than us, but they at least should have the right to be free. I didn't really like that union had to get involved in the Slave Act, and since the president said that our new goal is free to slaves, I'm happy to know that the union is closer to that goal.
Thanks. Well, that's all the time we have here. Signing out.
With that interview out of the way, we can head over to the last thing on our agenda. We have another video for today of the actual footage of the surrender of Robert E. Lee at the Appomattox Courthouse. Let's roll the video, Rick.
Men, there's nothing left to do now but to see General Grant. I'd rather die 1,000 deaths. Greetings, Grant. It's time for us to initiate this surrender. I remember you well.
Me not so much. You don't seem familiar at all. But yes, let's start. On this day, April 9th, 1865, you, Robert E. Lee, and your Confederates are here to surrender and become one again with the country. From this day forward, the United States will be known as a singular, not a plural, for we are all united as one country. To make this surrender official, sign this document here, here, and here.
Alright, I will. Sign this, please.
Oh, and one more thing. You have to say the chant.
What chant?
Who is the best? King Grant. Yes, say it. So who is the best?
King Grant.
I can't hear you. Who is the best?
King Grant!
Alright, that's more like it. Sorry, it's by law that you have to do that.
Oh, the North is quite peculiar.
To conclude this, because of the Civil War now officially over, many new different types of freedoms can be enabled for our country. The slaves can now have the social freedom of being free from slavery and make a better life for themselves. Economic freedom for the country is also enabled now that we can stop using the money for the war and use it to make our country better. Lastly, America now has political freedom to flourish as a nation better now that we are unified. Robert E. Lee, before you go, we need to discuss a couple of reasonable terms to help the reconciliation of this country even further. Yes, we should. Rations will be given to your men, and they are allowed to keep their possessions such as their houses, horses, and guns. Now go tell your men. I know the Union is mostly happy to see us a country as a whole again. Thank you, Robert, and goodbye.
Thank you, Grant. Boys, I've done the best for you. My heart is too full to say more. Go home now, and make yourself as good citizens as you were soldiers.
This unification thing is stupid. We don't need to go back to the Union.
Gregory, I think it's time we make amends for our country. Well, that concludes our collection of newscasts for today. See you next time.